Hi, ladies. Okay. Okay. So, excuse me. It is a hot day. We got into Texas, or came home last night after midnight. And this morning, when I was coming to from exhaustion from our trip, this idea of Fill Your Freezer Friday came to me. And so I've just been trying to kind of work on things as the day has progressed, and I honestly did not expect this much interest. And so I kind of want to explain to you how this is going to work. It's really simple, but I've had a lot of questions. Now, I did say that this idea came to me this morning, but I have been wanting to do more freezer cooking. It makes my life easy. My life is, you would think it would be easy, but it's very chaotic at times, unpredictable. So I had already bought these on the way home yesterday as I was thinking of doing more freezer cooking. These are not necessary at all, but I think I paid $11 for 8, which is going to work out perfect for my making 4 of each recipe, so 8 recipes. Again, these are not necessary. If you have tall like cups that are deep, will work perfect as well. Or you can just kind of sit it in a bowl and dump everything in. These are, and I have nothing linked. I'm not making any money. There is no profit for me in this whatsoever at all. I'm just trying to share what makes my life easier. Okay, I can't open the package. Live videos, so be prepared for that if you pop in for the live videos. So these are really, really simple. You might be able to find them cheaper at a local store. I just live in a small town, and so Amazon works great. Great, not great. So it comes like this, and all you do is that, and then whatever size your bag is, you just push it up, and you can pull it all the way out. I did that earlier. And then these clips right here, you just put the top of your bag in it, and it just holds your bag while you fill it in. Again, these are not necessary, but I will be using them during the videos. We came back from Colorado, where I rarely wore shorts, and it's like 100 and something degrees outside, and I am still sweating in my house. I'm so hot. Okay, so timing of the videos. If you are new here, my dad is still fighting cancer. My daughter needs trips with my 2 grandbabies, places and doctor's appointments. And my stepmother, if my dad has an appointment that I'm not taking him to, she'll need me to take her to an appointment. And my grandmother gets her hair done every single Friday. So if a family member is not available to take her, then it falls on me. So Friday is a day I picked. One is payday. It's the weekend. So it's going to work out probably perfect for me, but the timing may not always be exact. I'm trying to sign in for something, and then my phone disappeared, my video. Anyway, so I would love to say every single Friday promptly at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, I will be here doing my live video. My life is unpredictable, so I'm just going to do the best that I can. Okay. Second. Okay, so I'm going to try to make these recipes super easy. Almost every recipe has no cooking required whatsoever. It's literally get out your freezer bags, we'll fill them up, seal them, and put them in the freezer just like that. I have 20 planned, but I may change them because I'm trying to make us not do any cooking. I'm trying to make it as easy and simple as possible. And I mentioned drive-through Sue. So if you are not a drive-through Sue and you prefer to make some things more from scratch, I'm going to be sharing the links. My goal is at least 3 days ahead of time. But like I said, this literally came to me this morning laying in my bed recovering from an exhaustive car ride that was 14, 15, I don't know, it was a lot of hours yesterday. It was way too long. So an example is I bought these from my Dollar Tree probably like 3 months ago. And it is Kinder Zero Sugar Marinade Teriyaki Sauce. I have a recipe that I plan on using these in. If you are not a drive-through Sue, or these ingredients that I don't really think they're really that bad, but it may have sucralose at the bottom, I'd have to check, which I'm fogging at my glasses, I'm so hot. So if you want to make your own teriyaki sauce, there are lots of them available that are from Healthy Mama friendly. I have some on my blog. But like I mentioned, I want to make this, I asked a question earlier this week, what is something that is hard for you? I forget how I worded it, but for dinner time, like what is something that makes it hard for you? Planning, prepping, all these things. And so many people struggle with timing and stuff. Well, having some things like this that we can go to that may not be 100% perfect, but are so close that having it every now and then isn't a big deal. But I really think this is pretty close to personal choice, I think. So when I share the recipes and I say I'm going to use a bottle of sugar-free teriyaki sauce, and for you that is a no-go, then what I would suggest is prepping some homemade, and it's super easy, it doesn't take that much time at all. And some of these recipes I'm going to use frozen stir-fry mix. So all I have to do is I'm going to take whatever meat I'm using, I'm going to dump in the stir-fry mix, dump this in, seal it, and put it in my freezer. And then when it's time to cook it, I'm either going to cook it in my skillet, or I'm going to throw it in my crock pot. My goal is all of these are all crock pot recipes is my goal. But not everybody has a crock pot, not everybody wants to use a crock pot. So you adjust these as it works for you, your guidelines, and your family. Sorry, I'm fogging up my glasses. So one of my recipes I'm going to try out this week, that if it works, we're going to use it for the freezer cooking series, is something called firecracker chicken. And it calls for some hot wing sauce. My Walmart today did not have mild. Now, if your family can handle no heat at whatsoever, and even mild is too much for you, what I want you to do then is, if this recipe is not going to work for you, instead of just making one recipe, I will share, I have a blog post with at least 30 freezer recipes. Now, they're not all dump and go recipes. Some of them might require some cooking. But I want you to still make 2. Even if you don't make 4 like me, if you just make 2 freezer recipes every single Friday, you're still blessing your future self. You're still setting yourself up for success in your future. So if, let's say, the firecracker chicken, you're feeling like it's Asian food, but that sounds like it might not be their cup of tea, then find another recipe that will work. Typically I use mild. This is just regular. It doesn't really have much heat to it. Another thing is, at least one recipe I'm going to use this time is going to use ranch, the dry ranch seasoning. I've had this for well over a year, so you see how much we use it. We don't use it that much. I'm not too concerned with how much we use this with the ingredients. However, if you are a purist, or if you are someone who looks at these ingredients and you're like, that's just too many ingredients, period, for me and my family, it's super easy to make your own dry ranch mix. So if you see, whenever I share the recipes that we're going to be using, and you see this included for part of the recipe, then you know, go ahead and make your own dry mix, and you will be able to make the recipe. I try to make every single recipe easy, special ingredient free, teen boy, adult boy, and hubby approved. That is my goal. And I do know that every recipe that my family likes isn't going to be everybody else's family's favorites. So I'm going to share a link to my page that has the 30 recipes in it. So if I do share something and you're like, we won't like that, I beg you to go ahead and find something else that your family will like, so that when we finish these, however many weeks it is, I think it's 10 weeks, that you will still have a freezer with lots of meals in it. And again, my goal with this is, most of these recipes, dump in your freezer bag, seal it, put it in your freezer, thaw it, dump it in your crock pot, and walk away. That is my goal with this whole thing. Now, if you are busy at the possible 3 o'clock Central Time video, I'm not going to delete the videos on here. I'm also going to upload them to YouTube, bloopers, mistakes, and all. And then I had somebody ask me a question and gave me an idea to go ahead and make a blog post that I update every week with videos, tips, recipe links and things like that, so that if you miss them, you're on vacation and you want to see what you've missed all in one place, then I'll have a blog post that just has all the stuff in it. Again, this is not a money making thing for me. I'm literally just sharing simple ideas to hopefully help you fill your family, fill your family's tummy, but fill your freezer and make your family, recipes that y'all will like. And again, I'm not going to share anything we have not tried yet. Like I said, the firecracker chicken we will be having this week, and if it works out, then it will definitely be on our list of recipes we'll make this summer. If you have more questions, I think I tried to write down some of that questions that I had. If you have more questions, if I even confused you in this video, let me know and I will do my best to answer your questions. Again, these guys are not necessary. They just are helpful. If you can't even get one, then just use like a bowl. And what I do like about them, again, there's no link in my storefront, I don't have a storefront, is I have 8, so I can do all 8 and I can just do each bag. It'll make it easier for me, more convenient. I have another tip, let me be right back. And if my house looks messy, my son, who didn't go on the trip, stayed home and watched our 2 Rottweilers and my daughter's German Shepherd. And they ate and destroyed some of my 4th of July decorations, and they're probably still all over the floor. Let me try. Okay, so I went to the store today. When I finish this video, I'm going to sit down for a minute and cool off, but I'm going to come back to the kitchen. I found some sirloin steaks on clearance. So instead of paying $17, I paid $5. Well, that's a great savings for the sirloin steak. So what I'm going to do, I am planning on doing my garlic sirloin steak bites. I have one's a Crockpot recipe. I'm going to go ahead and cube these guys up, put them in a quart freezer bag, and label them. So when it comes time to make them, I'm not going to thaw them again because they're already in the reduced bin. I'm just going to get the other bag ready and then drop the frozen bag of my cubed sirloin steaks straight in that baggie and then seal it and put it straight in the freezer. That way I'm able to utilize the cells that I'm finding now for future recipes. We're going to be using chicken thighs, chicken breasts, sirloin steak, hopefully some roasts. Those are going to be our main meats. Like I said, I do have some that involve cooking, which would be mostly ground beef recipes. But that is just extra time that I don't want you to have to invest, but we may have to do some ground beef recipes. One, because they are cheaper. And then in the same store, I found smoked sausage I paid $2.75 for 3 links of smoked sausage. I mean, I know it's not it's not an organic, I don't know, grass-fed anything, but it's $2.75. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use it in a freezer recipe yet because I don't have one, but I did buy 4 packages just in case I can find a freezer recipe to cut these and dump these in. And then I think these are my chicken thighs. So this week, one of my stores had chicken thighs on sale for less than $2 a pound. Now let's say you want to do my recipes, but you don't want to make 4, you only want to make 2. A lot of the recipes call for like 1.5 pounds of chicken breasts or chicken thighs. What I would do is I would go to the store if it's on sale and try to find a package that's a little over maybe 3 pounds. And then you can divide your 1 package into 2 meals, because I was sitting there trying to find weights that would work for my family. And then my final thing I want to share is when I do my videos, instead of you watching me cut up, if it's an onion per recipe, you sitting there and watching me cut up 4 onions and bell peppers or whatever it is, I'm going to pre-cut those so that I'm not wasting your time watching me. And I do get a little nervous cutting onions live. I'm always nervous I'm going to cut myself in front of everybody. So I will be sharing the recipes way before it's time to use them. I'm going to try to prep on Thursday, getting everything ready. So in case my Friday is a bit crazy, I will have time to still do my video around 3-ish. And then again, if you miss it, it's still going to be here. I'm not going to delete it, and I'll be moving everything, also uploading it to YouTube. And then I forgot, I did buy these as well for like $4, I think. They're not as good as I thought they were. They are freezer labels, and they're really, really tiny. I hope you can see. It looks big on the screen, but they're really, really, really tiny. Like not even 2 finger width. So what I plan on doing is I will write the item and the date, and I'll stick it on the bag. And then on the baggie, in the space that's left, if I have extra notes, let's say, I don't know, add chicken broth or beef broth. A lot of times I don't add the broth to the bag because then it gets so full. I have done freezer cooking stuff for years. It's what saved my sanity when I was homeschooling 5 kids, 7 and under. That has been my go-to for years and years and years and years. And I have had a few that I overfilled explode. So I typically do not add broth. So then on the baggie, I will write, add 2 cups of broth cooking day. Or I don't like to put cream cheese in anything in a freezer bag. I feel like, personally, I feel like it has a different texture and it looks different and unappetizing personally. So I will not add cream cheese until cooking day. But you can if you want. So then I would add on there, I don't know, like after 4 hours, add 8 ounces of cream cheese, something like that. I hope this was helpful. I hope this kind of answered some questions. I feel like I answered all the questions, but there could be 1 or 2 that I missed. Okay, Rose, I think if I'm saying your name wrong, please forgive me. I'm Jennifer, and my name is just everywhere. It's so easy. So, Rosanna, I have thought about getting one. I have seen them all over TikTok. Do you think that it's faster than actually chopping by hand? I would love to hear what you think, if it is easier than chopping by hand. I also will be doing another thought that I've had so many thoughts. One thought I've had is, if you want, when you're making these recipes, is you could also make one for dinner that night. Although we're doing it at 3, so that might not work as well as I was thinking. Or even, I guess, the next day if you wanted to. I do have a couple, but not many. Like right now I've got 2 soup recipes planned. Maybe 3, I'll have to go back and look. I don't eat soup, at least not right now. I am dying, I am sweating, it is so hot in Texas, I am miserable. So I definitely would not eat my soup right away. But I'm planning on doing 1 lentil soup with some sausage. Well, that's probably not lean sausage. Anyway, I'm going to quit now. I could keep talking forever. I know that my video is ahead of what you're watching. So, Rosanna, if you will just hit reply after I finish this, because I really would love to hear if you think it saves time. I bet it saves tears. I bet that is definitely something it saves. Y'all, thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest. I'm going to work tomorrow to find, I've got some PDFs in mind that I would like to create through Canva and share with y'all to try to make this easier, I'm hoping. If not, it might just be a list of the recipes that you make that you can put on your freezer, if nothing else. But thank you all for your interest. And again, if you have more questions or thoughts sharing about the onion chopper, I would love to hear them. Hope you're at least staying cool wherever you are, and having a great weekend. Bye.